In the last couple of weeks, I had numerous conversations about what I call the hierarchy of value. A good friend of mine, I call him Jeff, a private equity investor, coined this term to me many years ago. He used this model to decide which improvement projects to invest in and which to pass on in his companies. He wanted simple rules to help his management teams that go beyond hard value and soft value. He even used it in his personal life to decide what to buy and what not to buy. I keep coming back to the simplicity of the model whenever we discuss the value of digital transformation. So what is this hierarchy of value, and why does it matter for digital projects? Before we talk about the hierarchy of value, let's back up a minute. Whenever I bring up the value creation in IT, someone predictably will argue that that's impossible to measure. It's impossible to measure the value of IT projects. Most CIOs admit they have challenges with value measurement. Why is it so hard to have clear value metrics in digital projects in IT? This is a huge topic in itself, so we need to come back to it in future episodes too. But after all these years studying the value of technology, I came to the following realization. The biggest issue in IT value creation is that the most value accrues outside of IT. So what does that mean? Well, if you're running operations and want to create value, take costs out, improve capacity, reduce capital assets, it's all within your control. And most benefits will accrue to you, your cost center, and your P&L. The same is true for a sales leader. Improving sales efficiency, pricing, pipeline management will result in higher revenues and bookings, which you are measured on. But this is not true in IT. The vast majority of value impact in IT comes from improving operational, sales, supply chain, and other business systems. As they get more efficient, the value of that efficiency will benefit those business areas and not IT. No business I have ever seen comes back to IT and says, listen, the digital experience platform you put in increased our revenue conversion by $10 million. Here's your share. It never happens. Attribution of IT value is the biggest challenge, I believe, in digital value creation. So companies solve it one of two ways. Either measure IT only on value created within the IT function, like reducing IT spend, outsourcing functions, reducing hardware investments, and the like. This results in marginal benefits. Most IT organizations represent a small fraction of the company's cost base, so these savings will pale in comparison to value creation potential in operations, sales, supply chain, marketing. So that's where we want those investments to focus. So before you worry about the hierarchy of value and ranking your digital projects, make sure the total value attributed to that project gets measured inside and outside of IT. Now about the hierarchy of value bit. This model is disarmingly simple. Jeff used to carry with him a list, his value hierarchy. It had 4 sections of that structure. Every time someone had a new project idea, he wrote it on the list in one of those 4 sections, above or below other projects he already had. He believed everything valuable gets you closer to your business goals of growth and profitability. There are many ways to accomplish that goal, though, and very limited resources. So you have to pick the project that gets you there the most efficiently. And that was Jeff's principle. His 4 sections of the hierarchy and the essence of his value creation thinking was this. The highest value section in the hierarchy had projects that improved revenue growth. He ranked his growth projects by efficiency, meaning how much they cost and how fast they produce the result. His core belief was that growth is everything in business and it solves all other problems. His second section were projects that improve the efficiency of an existing process. Either they reduce cycle time, costs, or improve capacity. These could be projects improving supplier performance, but also investing engineering talent that accelerates product development. Projects in this category had to have bankable impact within 1 year. This means supplier costs were reduced, new products were sold, and shipping costs were lowered within 1 year. His third section had projects with longer-term value, or those that did not directly align with the company's strategy. Jeff was skeptical about long-term projects. Way too many things may change over several years. He didn't mind multi-year projects, but wanted them to produce incremental value every year, and that was his criterion. His fourth section he called the discard pile. Projects with no clear value measurement. Those with unclear impact on the goal of the business. Projects with wishy-washy objectives and limited executive support. He almost never approved projects in this section, unless someone in the executive team stood up and signed up to a dollar target for them. And this often included attribution of value to an IT project that created value outside of IT. With these sections in place, Jeff demanded from each project measurable value targets and an ongoing annual reporting of the value generated. He called this annual report his value run rate. Jeff claimed to have over 20% compounded return from the projects his companies undertook. Jeff's hierarchy of value represents to me something most companies absolutely lack: consistent and clear definition of the project value. His list had a lot more detail to them, clearly, for the board and the managers, but this was the essence of it. If you wanted your projects to make the list, you knew exactly what to do and where your priorities needed to be. Clarity of value creation continues to be critical to prioritize digital transformation and any other project. I hope you create your own version of the hierarchy of value and get the benefits Jeff has gotten. Talk soon.